Welcome everybody back to another BOLDcast reaction.
Welcome everybody back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Lindsay.
I'm Carson.
And today we are watching House of the Dragon, episode 9. What happened last time?
Last time we discovered that lightsabers exist in this show, or at least it was confirmed. The best character in the show unfortunately died. The guy that we shat on about as hard as everyone else, even though he didn't really deserve it. It's gonna be a rough world without that man. I recently also found out that, I actually hadn't seen George say this himself, but I saw like a TikTok or something about like how he maybe wants to actually rewrite the histories or like kind of retcon the histories of Viserys' reign because of how well he was portrayed and or not really portrayed, but characterized, like how much better fleshed out his character is. And I think that's really cool. Because yeah, he was a great character. Mm-hmm. He's definitely my favorite character. Like if I had to pick one guy that I know like has the best intentions out of everybody, it's him. It's easier for him to have the best intentions because he already has the highest honor of being the king. So there's nothing really for him to strive for beyond like keeping the peace. But it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens after the GOAT himself has passed on.
I'm scared, but there's only one way to find out what happens, and that's for us to watch this video. Please like, please subscribe, and you can check out our Patreon if you want to see the uncut for this and all the previous ones.
Let's go. Dance of the Dragons. I never noticed that was what that was depicting until now. I just haven't paid attention to this, I guess. Kind of like how I don't pay attention to the whole show.
With the same theme song.
Yeah, I was more distracted by how boring this theme song was. How terrible this. I mean, guys. You can't tell me that this isn't the worst theme song you've ever heard in your life.
They're not gonna get it, and they're just gonna get mad.
Leave a like if you cringe every time you hear this theme song.
Leave a like if you cringe every time you hear Carson's voice.
Oh shit, we're about to break new records. In 2022, the most liked video was posted by a channel called BOLDcast. What? I
just think it was such a stupid joke. I was like, can't believe they did all this with practical effects. The amount of blood that they had to use was just unreal.
This scene was actually improvised by the director. They were running out of daylight, so he just said, fuck it, I'll do it myself. And he made this whole diorama. He had a plan for like 20 other shots, but he couldn't make it happen. We're not starting this up. This is a terrible way to start off this reaction.
People are gonna click
People are already gone. Like this is probably gonna be the most intense episode of the fucking season. It's episode 9, as we know. Everything goes crazy in episode 9. But and we're just the most annoying fucking people on the planet. Yeah, this is gonna be a crazy episode. The night is dark and full of terrors.
Where are you going?
Which kid is this? Daeron? Who is this?
This is Rhaenyra's oldest kid.
Rhaenyra's oldest kid is like
Rhaenyra's oldest blonde-haired kid.
I thought he was younger than that. I thought he was like 4.
Maybe.
Because there's apparently another son that we had not seen from Alicent's side. Named Daeron, who was being sheltered by Otto, or being
maybe
ward
he's wearing
Otto.
red, so I don't know about that.
Oh, true. Hang on, let me just adjust the brightness.
She has her children very color coordinated.
Is he wearing red? I can't fucking tell.
He looks like it there.
Oh yeah.
That bitch.
I think it's a different lady.
I thought that was the same lady.
Oh no, it is. You know, you're right.
Snitch lady.
So maybe that's not even a prince.
This how nice, Grace.
What?
Saw what?
What the fuck? Or, oh no, it's just probably that Viserys died. Probably just that Viserys is dead.
My handmaiden tell you? Some of the servants.
But why would that be such a crazy thing? Like,
no,
he's been on death's door.
No, but they're getting the jump on it, I think is what they're implying. I think that like that kid saw or found out
that he was dead, and now they're just trying to like do the proper.
They're getting a head start. It's like
this.
us when we're supposed to be watching the show directly when it comes out, but we wait an hour and a half. If we watched it right away, we would have way more views and have a jump on the competition. They're just trying to get a jump on their competition. If only we could be so smart.
Saw him last night.
Yeah.
Before you
Otto was crying though. Like they care.
told me you wish for Aegon to be king.
Oh Jesus Christ! Here we go.
I know she's just like acting off of the information that she has.
It's also
But
confirmation. It's like confirmation bias is what it is. It's like, is that what it is? She a part of her really wants Aegon to be king.
But at the same time, I feel like she had felt some relief in having like a good, nice dinner and like maybe this can work. Maybe I can forgive Rhaenyra and everything can be kind of chilled out. And then he basically, with his dying breath, gives her a task to like fuck all that up.
But the only he was obviously he wasn't talking about that.
trying
But
to do it.
the only reason she would follow that line of logic is if she wanted Aegon on some level to be king. Because they had been working towards that for like his entire life.
And now he's dead.
What are we gonna do about this, Otto?
What are you gonna do about this weasel?
Oh, she's lighting 7 candles in the window to tell Massaria. This is a signal.
Oh.
What is it that could not have waited an hour? Was Dawn invaded?
The king is dead. We grieve for Viserys the Peaceful, our sovereign, our friend. But he has left us a gift. With his last breath, he impressed upon the queen his final wish that his son, Aegon, should succeed him as Lord of the Seven Kingdoms.
I wish they would just talk to Rhaenyra. If they just talked to Rhaenyra, but if she didn't leave, like they're gone right now.
Then we may proceed now with the full assurance of his blessing on our long-laid plans.
Yes, there is much
Yeah, they already had it all lined up.
Discuss now. There are 2 among the captains of the City Watch that remain loyal to Daemon. Let us replace them. Lord Lannister.
She's like,
The treasury is well
Wait.
in hand. The gold
Wait,
will
what?
be safekeeping.
Let Ravens
Am I to understand that members of the small council have been planning secretly to install my son without me?
My queen.
Without him too, it seems like.
Darkling scheme.
I will not have this. To hear that you are plotting to replace the king's chosen heir with hundreds of lords and landed knights swore fealty to the
That was
princess.
20 years ago.
Alicent,
You heard the Lord Hand.
you have a choice to make right
He
now.
changed his mind.
I am 76 years old. I have known Viserys longer than any who sit at this table, and I will not believe that he said this on his deathbed, alone with only the boy's mother as a witness. Seizure! It is theft! It is treason, at the least! It is your tongue, Lyman. The king was well last night, by all accounts.
They're gonna kill him right now.
Which of you here can swear that he died of his own accord?
Which of us are you accusing of regicide, Lord Beesbury?
Whether it was one of you or all of you, I care not. I will have no part.
Oh my god. This guy just loves bashing people's heads in.
Throw down your sword and remove your cloak, Sacristan.
Oh, really?
You just murdered
I am your Lord Commander.
a High Lord.
I will not suffer insults to Her Grace the Queen.
There was no insult to me, Sacristan. Put aside your blade.
As we come to this, Lord Commander, enough.
This is when if he speaks up now, he will be the most badass motherfucker. He's kept his mouth shut for 30 years.
Lord Beesbury removed. No, the door remains shut until we finish our business.
Oh
so stressed out
my
right now.
god. Well, yeah, they just murdered a man. Kristen just murdered a man again. He just murdered a 76-year-old man.
Storm's End is of concern. We may not assume the loyalty of Lord Boris, but he has 4 daughters.
What of
Hosworn.
Rhaenyra?
The former heir cannot, of course, be allowed to remain free and draw support to her claim.
You mean to imprison her?
She
Look at his face. He's like, this is wrong.
to publicly.
She will never bend the knee. Nor will Daemon, which you know. You plan to kill them.
They do.
Yeah.
And all here accede to this.
Your father is correct, Your Grace. A living challenger invites battle and bloodshed.
It is unsavory, yes, but a sacrifice we must make to secure.
I hate Otto right now because he's like, it's not good, but it's a sacrifice that we have to make, as if he didn't like orchestrate this entire thing for him to be in the position to make this call. You know?
Of course. I forget his name. I just refreshed myself on his name because I've been watching him for like this whole season.
Well, he's just been doing his job.
No, he's been doing it honorably and very well. Like he's seen this building. Like he is sworn to protect the royal family.
Yeah, but it's kind of awkward because it's kind of an awkward situation because then it's like, what happened when you're sworn to protect the royal family as like a whole, but then you have one half of the royal family plotting against what should now be the ruler of the entire kingdom, who is also still the royal family.
You really have to pick and choose your vows here, or you have to make a choice of what is more in tune with your vows, because he made a vow to uphold the law and uphold the good as a knight, and then he made a vow as a Kingsguard to uphold the royal family but paramount the king as the Kingsguard. And now we have the Queen Regent proposing another heir. It's a really interesting moral conundrum because Alicent, she really does believe that this is right. She really does believe this was Viserys' last wish. And after that night where they had a good time, where it wasn't all good, but like everybody kind of reconnected. And she is like honest. This is one thing where there's not really a hypocrisy in this instance. Because like in a lot of her actions, it's like, she wants to believe Diana, but her son raped her. So she's like also trying to identify and help her, but also trying to protect the reputation of her son. When she confronts her son, she doesn't say you raped that woman. She says like, you dishonor us all, blah, blah, blah. There's like a give and take to a lot of her actions. But in this case, I genuinely believe that like she's misguided clearly, but she doesn't have all the information. Yeah, she genuinely believes she's doing what's right.
That's the interesting thing about
she's
Alicent,
not like kind of like using that as an excuse or like kind of
there's no rage and resentment controlling her actions right now. Like previously she was doing things out of spite and because she hated Rhaenyra and couldn't relate to her or like see any justification for her actions. She felt betrayed and she felt that what Rhaenyra was doing was not right and not moral.
Yeah.
But now that she's seen the way her son acts, that is even less moral and like worse than Rhaenyra, then she like, and then she has a good night with Rhaenyra where Rhaenyra, like they kind of cleared the air, everything's good, but then she's facing this thing where she kind of like let it go, and they like had a moment, and she in a way kind of gave up the fight. She gave up.
She conceded.
She decided, you know what, if this is how things can be and we can just do it like this and we don't have to have a fight, maybe that is the good, maybe that's what Viserys wants. But then because Viserys accidentally told her instead of Rhaenyra what he was saying, and she felt like, oh, finally, like I imagine for her it felt like, oh, finally I don't have to fight for this anymore. I don't have to like hold on to all of this and like be plotting and scheming and doing all these things. I can just let go. Yeah. And Rhaenyra can handle it, and I kind of trust her at this point to handle it. Yeah. But then Viserys puts in that thing with his literal dying breath of like, I think my son should be king. We know that's not what he was saying, but for her, she's just like, she felt like she had finally figured it out, and then he just like spun her back around, but she still has the feelings of like, I don't want to kill Rhaenyra. I don't want to go against her. My son's not the most best and moral person in the entire world. It's a crazy
blind side that everybody was planning this, and that her dad went from. I think Otto is genuinely hurt by Viserys' passing. I think that his tears when they were alone were genuine, but he is a very pragmatic man. So he, the coldness and the complete 180 turn from like grieving to plotting, and not just that, but that Alicent is just like, Am I to understand that you've been plotting treason
for
the last 20 years without me planning to kill Rhaenyra?
I also think that because, like, I feel like she felt like she was in it alone for a long time. Especially when Otto wasn't there, she felt like, oh, I have to protect myself. The things that she was doing was to protect herself and her children. And, like, that was, like, building resentment towards Rhaenyra and all of these things, and it was kind of snowballing. But she wasn't doing it. She wasn't really on the offensive. She was doing it to protect her family and, you know, what she thought was right and her values. But then when she finds out that they, like, basically planned out this entire thing to go against Rhaenyra.
It's not righteous anymore, right?
It's not. It's scummy.
Yeah.
That they were planning to do this. And she believes that she was like, oh, Aegon should be king because the king wished that. And then they're like, well, whether he wished it or not, we were always going to do this. And it's kind of like, well, what do you mean?
Yeah, so now
like, it seemed like she thought she was going to have to fight, and if she had to, she would fight for her son to sit on the throne rather than see him killed. But, you know, now it's just becoming something completely different from what she imagined the situation to be.
True. I'm interested. Because now she's presented with a choice. Basically, the people have.
Well, they'll do it without her.
Well, her first choice should have been, I need to talk with Rhaenyra if you really did make peace with her. But instead, she talks to her dad because she misplaced her trust in her dad. That was the problem. But she has a choice of. I mean, they could do it without her very well, but I doubt that would result in Otto having to kill his own daughter to secure his grandson's right to rule, which, you know, maybe is possible with Otto's temperament and with his ambition. But we'll see. I'm interested to see what the Lord Commander will do here. What's his choice?
Your father is correct, Your Grace. A living challenger invites battle.
The king wouldn't wish for any other.
The king did not wish for the murder of his daughter. He loved her. I will not have you deny this.
And yet,
One more word, and I'll have you removed from this chamber and sent to the wall.
what do you suggest, Your Grace?
Exactly. You can scream at him all you want, but, like, what are you gonna do though?
Lord Commander Westerling. Take your knights to Dragonstone. Be quick and be clean.
What?
Oh, really?
I am Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. I recognize no authority but the king's. And until there is one,
Looking at Kristen.
I have no place here.
Well, you better get ready to draw your sword, because if you leave, like, Kristen's not going to let him walk out of here, right? He's happy about this?
No. The other will take it away.
Are those her kids?
Mm-hmm.
Where is Aegon?
Not here.
He's not in his rooms.
Never is.
I wonder if Westerling is going to go to Dragonstone,
I don't know.
go to their side, or if he's just like,
I'm out.
I can't do anything.
She's getting scared.
Yeah, she should be.
It's like, if they roll out in an assassination attempt, you think that they're not going to come flying back over here with their dragons and try to take you out. They do have dragons, but, like, everyone has dragons.
Yeah.
And, like, when you put the pressure on them, you think that they're not going to come back when you're, you know.
No, they don't. You think they don't expect resistance? That's why
Alicent's getting all scared. Because she's looking at her children and being like, oh, it's kind of like clicking into place, like, okay, I'm killing the king, we're killing the king's daughter, granddaughters, everyone. Well, who are they gonna kill on this side?
Father, there is a beast beneath the bones. Oh, dearest Lord.
She said that before, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Which one? Sorry.
Take no one else but your brother and remove your white clothes. None can know who you are or what you seek, including the Queen. My lord, bring him to me and me alone, Sir Eric.
Sketchy.
This is a big reach, I understand. I wonder, this is a big reach, I don't even really believe this. What if he plans to kill Aegon so
make
that
it look like it was.
Aemon could ascend the throne, but that would complicate things. I don't know. Or
But
if he just wants to get him in a room and talk to him,
Talk
like,
to him
just be
before
like,
Alicent can
This is
instill
how it's
her-
gonna be.
Because if he's gonna be king, if they're gonna put him on the throne and say this is the king, he might want to get ahead of Alicent, because Alicent doesn't want to like kill everyone else. But if he's gonna be like, this is the way it has to be, and like kind of like set him straight and like on the right.
But Team Green, am I right, guys? No way.
What is the meaning of
Oh
this?
my god.
He's gonna be Larys. They're a fire?
Are they all getting like into the dungeon?
They don't want word to get out about the king, but it's too late. She lit the candles. Larys.
I guess maybe they're locking like people that aren't servants in their rooms so they can't talk to each other.
People that aren't
Like Rhaenys, like they're
Yeah.
locking her in so that they can't like communicate with other people. Freaking stressful.
Aegon brought me to the Street of Silk on my 13th name day. His duty as my brother, he said. Ensure I was
We saw the thumbnail, and
We were joking about the murder cloak.
about Daemon's murder cloak. They really are one and the same. Oh, we need to go on a stealthy mission.
Silk on my 13th name day.
Nobody will know I'm a Targaryen now.
His tastes are known to be less discriminating.
Meaning what?
Flea bottom?
I wish you luck, good sir, and my best to your friend.
I guess Aegon doesn't get to the Cloud District very often.
The service amended his wishes. It's as simple as that. You once swore your banners to Rhaenyra. You must now pledge them to the future king.
Not everyone's kneeling.
I must confer first with my house on this matter.
You'll not leave this room without declaring your intention.
Lord Caswell.
I am no oath breaker. I will not bend the knee.
Anyone else?
This is fucking insane.
House Phil keeps its sworn oath to the princess.
Very well.
I'm just gonna kill her.
It's definitely the smart move.
I mean, like, you can just do that. Like, it's gonna be war anyway. So, like, you could just do that and then, like, leave and go team up with her if you really wanted to.
Oath breaker. You break two oaths in one by
Well,
kneeling
might as
to
well.
To Aegon.
Long live the king.
I was wondering who was. You could see in the depth of field.
Mm.
You could see him in the back. I was wondering who that was. He definitely suspects Caswell. Interesting. We're not seeing any of Rhaenyra's side, I guess, because they don't have any information.
Yeah.
But unless Massaria
Might
will
tell
send
them.
a raven or something, some word.
Saved you. He could be in the hands of mercenaries.
Who was that?
Shipped to Yeti. He could be dead.
Let us hope for your mother's sake that
He's fucking missing? Slumming in Flea Bottom? What if he's just dead by
Could you imagine?
Just total coincidence, freak accident. Fighting pits? Kids? Jesus!
How old are they?
This scratching?
We have them grow the nails and file the teeth.
Jesus
Makes them more
Christ.
formidable. Prince Aegon spends many a night in this. Do you see now what he is? You must
Fuck.
see him.
See now what he is. His bastard. His bastard son. He went to Flea Bottom, father to bastard. Now they're fighting in a fucking pit. I like that these guys. I wonder if these guys are gonna turn against him because they're like,
I don't know. Like, I can't.
because they're like, you see now what he is. This is tragic, dude.
One of many, I wager.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, can we just kill Aegon?
Aegon's a piece of shit,
like
dude.
move on to literally anyone else.
The thing is, Aegon's a piece of shit, but I think there's a Joffrey syndrome where it's like nature and nurture. I think that the way that his mom treated him growing up definitely didn't help, and like that obviously
trying to like force him into
just
a
fostering
role and then
fostering his worst impulses. That but they're also
but like like there's only so far that can take you to like enjoying child fighting pits. Like
that's why I like it's both, right? Yeah, get the fuck out of there. They're not gonna let him leave.
I'm trawling the city. It is I, the younger brother, who studies history and philosophy. It is I who trains with the sword, who rides the largest dragon in the world. It is I who should be...
I know what it is to toil for what others have freely given.
We can't find him, Cole. We are decent men with no taste for depravity. I'm next in line to the throne. Should they come looking for me, I intend to be found.
This is the problem. Like this big snowball effect.
Yeah. Oh God.
Slippery slope once you start like picking and choosing.
A moment of your time, Lords.
Yeah, and like careful.
Who is this?
You probably know where he is, or she does. I mean.
I can take you to Prince Aegon. Rather, I'm sent by one who knows where he is. I'll tell you, for a price. My mistress will not treat with the servants of the king.
Saria.
Exalted though they may be, she'll trust this in the hand of the king only.
Impossible.
I think you will wish to hear what the White Word can tell him.
The White Word. She got word first, so she probably fucking kidnapped him.
Yeah.
In one of the brothels.
This guy,
holding him
like,
hostage.
I feel like he's not making it out of here. Yeah. You should have just waited.
Played it cool.
A warning for the princess, I wager.
What say you?
The Lord Professor presumes I have no love for the princess.
Where were you going then with such urgency? Let the king's justice take him.
So stupid.
Why not just say things were getting a little heavy and I wanted to go home?
Well,
I know my duty, my Lord Hand.
I mean, not that that would matter. It doesn't matter.
Many hours with the Queen of late. There's no reason those hours cannot in the end benefit you.
What is the meaning of this?
I will do you the considerable courtesy of assuming there is a good reason for the outrage of my treatment here this morning.
My sincerest regrets for the lack of ceremony.
The king.
Can we have some communication?
And you are usurping the throne.
It was my husband's dying wish. Believe it or no, it is of no consequence. I came here to ask your support.
Well, I must credit you for your boldness.
House Velaryon has long allied itself with the Princess Rhaenyra, and what has it gained you? Your daughter dead? Alone in Pentos? Your son cuckolded? Rhaenyra's heirs are none of you.
See your face.
It is your husband who grasps so heedlessly for the throne. And even he has abandoned you, gone these 6 long years to fight a desperate battle, leaving the Lady of Driftmark to chart her course alone.
The word of my house is not fickle.
You, more than any soul alive, understand what I say now. Rhaenys, I loved my husband, but I will speak the truth we both know. You should have been queen.
I little thought to hear those words from you.
The Iron Throne was yours by blood and by temperament. Viserys would have lived his days a country lord, content to hunt and study his histories, but
True.
here we are.
True. Fuck's sake.
We do not rule. We may guide the men that do, gently, away from violence and sure destruction, and instead toward peace.
It's in the name of peace that you've imprisoned me. And what of my dragon?
Without your dragon, she may be persuaded to negotiate. If it's Driftmark you want, you shall have it. For you and your granddaughters to pass on as you see fit.
You are wiser than I believed you to be. Alicent Hightower.
True queen counts the cost to her people.
And yet you toil still in service to men. Your father, your husband, your son. to make a window in the wall of your prison. Have you never imagined yourself on the Iron Throne?
Careful.
I'll leave you with your thoughts.
Is she trying to fuck with her so that she messes up?
Yes. Wait, what did she say?
Ring the bell when you have an answer.
I think that's exactly what she's doing. Wait, let's just see. I think that's exactly what she's doing. I think that she's very torn. I think that was a great scene, by the way. That was a really, really good scene.
Any scene with Rhaenys is just like
Rhaenys
automatically a good scene.
It's fucking epic. Man, what like I feel like the tale of the show is like, oh, what could have been. Like, yeah, imagine if Rhaenys was queen, everything was chill. There probably would have been problems that arose that way as well, but
it's genuinely too bad because she should have been queen, but by using that same logic of, okay, we have two people, there's Rhaenyra and Aegon. Okay, well, which one of them should rule the country? Probably not the freaking like crazy
toxic
person,
masculinity personified,
like raping women and participating in children fighting pits and like just being like a horrible person by all accounts.
Seeing his bastard son in that pit was the most sad thing I think I've ever seen in this show. That was so sad. Seeing the kids like just sitting on the sidelines, like just kind of looking around. Oh my god, they file their teeth and grow out their nails. Holy
and like
fuck.
Yeah, so Aegon is like having bastards and then sending them into a literal fighting pit.
I think maybe sending them actually.
Why is the baby tied up and like sitting on the sidelines of this fighting pit if they're not potentially raising him to compete in this fighting pit?
I didn't actually consider that. I just thought that he fathered a bunch of bastards and then they just were orphans because their moms died in childbirth, and then they just were around and they threw him into this pit.
It could be, but if he's like a major frequenter of this fighting pit and he has a bunch of bastards around that he doesn't want, why wouldn't he put them in there? I guess, you know.
That's like the only reason I wouldn't say that is because that would like completely negate any moral complications that the show is kind of exploring, because if he's literally selling his children into slavery to be ripped apart by other children, that's different than like being a careless fool piece of shit that is inconsiderate and fathering bastards and is just kind of like Robert Baratheon, kind of like, whatever, leaving them in the back, versus maliciously putting them in the fighting pits for their entertainment. I feel like that's different. That's why I think it's less likely, but you could 100% be right, and that would be really fucked up.
Yeah, and like it just makes me think, because like the twins were talking about like just like how horrible he is and like how much of a monster he is.
I think that was just like separate things, one after another.
It
like
could be.
He's constantly visiting places like this. He disappears in the middle of the night and just like fucks around all the time. He doesn't care about his about ruling. And look, right over there, that's one bastard. That's just here. Imagine how many dragon seeds there are, which by the way, that's what they call bastards. There's actually a lot of bastards on Dragonstone of the peasants that live on Dragonstone, because the lords that live there often, you know, fuck around while they're there. There's some on an island, so they call them dragon seeds. All these like Valyrian children that are on the island. But maybe this seems to be kind of similar thing here. This scene with Rhaenys is fucking awesome. Rhaenys is awesome. I wonder what she is doing there. I think that she is trying to like, you know, trip her up by being like, she's playing the game, the five-head game of you know, oh, have you ever imagined yourself on the throne? And then now she's getting her wires crossed, and now Alicent's going to act erratically, possibly because that she planted that seed.
It seems like if she is, because like I don't think that it's like, oh, feminism, the women should be on the throne. Like that's not the point of the scene. I seriously think that she is like Alicent's trying to talk her up, like you should have been queen, and Rhaenys, it's like that is factually probably true. She would have been an epic queen.
She would have been fucking awesome. She would have been incredible.
However, Alicent wouldn't be like, she is not in the headspace right now to be making good decisions. So Rhaenys like hyping her up, like, haven't you ever thought about it? Like,
I love how she like tore her down there for a second. She tore her down to build her back up. That's why it seems like it makes sense. She's just like, you're still, you know, you're acting, you want to be this moral person, you want to do all these good things, you're serving men who are predatory and shitty and taking advantage of you, who don't deserve what they have, who don't care about all this, who don't have any morals. You're serving all of this stuff. If you really care, if you're just Alicent's just like, oh well, we have to serve the people. It's like, if you really wanted to serve the people, then you wouldn't be siding with people who would ruin the lives of countless people, and you wouldn't be doing. First of all, you're willing to start a war and commit treason to install a worse monarch who is a terrible person, because it's just on your side. And this is where the it goes from Alicent, like we said earlier, where she just is doing what she thinks is right, to now when she's confronted with all the roadblocks and she doesn't ignore them, but she goes past them. And she's like, oh, she starts out, this is Viserys' final wish, because she really believes that. And then the further she goes on, the more that she confronts the situation, the more she's faced with, is it worth it? I don't know. Let's find out. Is Aegon going to be a good person? She's not asking that question.
Yeah.
She is. I
think the thing is that she knows that
it's a rock and a hard place. Yeah.
And I think that when her and Rhaenyra kind of had that thing where they made up, it was probably a relief to her that she wouldn't have to fight for her son who was not worthy to sit on the throne. Like, I think that was part of it. Her thinking that he's so horrible and thinking, like, she's like, he will be the king, and then he's just proving himself that he would be horrible as a king, and then but she's still like, well, I have to, and then it's like, okay, I don't have to. And Rhaenyra, she's cleaned up pretty nicely over the years. Like, she would be a good queen. And then it's like,
it's just interesting how Alicent,
but
the rationalization,
because it was the king's dying words, she then feels like that's the right thing to do. Like, it wasn't. But then he said that, and now it is, even though she knows that, like, for her morals, it's not. But she was loyal to the king, and that's what the king wanted.
I don't want to keep going in circles with all this. We keep going over the same ground. I just was mentioning it in relation to this conversation with Rhaenys, because Rhaenys directly confronted her about it, and she didn't really have an answer.
Alicent, Hightower. Ring the bell when you have an answer.
I wonder if Rhaenys dies at the end of this episode.
It's feeling like
it feels
maybe.
Like she's gonna be in this room, and
it feels like Alicent.
She's not making that.
Alicent's not gonna do it, but Otto might if she's against him.
And what about Aemond wanting to be king?
Yeah. Oh, watch out.
You yourself are the mysterious white worm, I take it.
Mysterious? We've met before.
Or are you simply a further peel in this stinking onion?
My condolences on the passing of your king.
Just pulling that out.
Yeah, I know, bitch.
In case they come looking for him.
Where's the prince?
He is safely tucked away.
You see that twitch?
I want an end to the savage use of children in Flea Bottom. They are forced to fight and worse. Your gold cloaks take the bribes given them to look away. An obscenity, either tolerated or ignored by the crown.
I look into it.
He's like, this is nothing to me. I don't care. How the fuck did he get there?
I think
they stuffed him in there?
Yeah, they put him in there.
Where's the white worm? She sold you for a price. And why have you paid it? I want my mother.
Your grandfather, the Hand, will meet you outside the city walls.
Can you guys just, like, kill him?
I'm thinking it might go that direction. We found him
just
dead.
So easily kill him.
We found him dead in the alley.
Oh god. Oh god.
Kingsguard are fighting now?
Oh.
Not even it's not even Rhaenyra and Alicent. It's Otto and Alicent.
Yeah.
Just trying to get a handle on the situation.
I feel like this twin is gonna lose, but I just want Kristen to lose just because I hate him. Jesus Christ. Can you kill him?
Yes, and they're going to make you king.
Damn!
Let me go! Let me go! Brother! Let me go!
What the fuck?
I have no wish to rule, no taste for duty. I'm not suited. Get no argument from me. Let me go, find a ship, and sail away, never to be found.
The Queen awaits.
What are you gonna do, Eamon?
Can you imagine being a person just on the street and then you see the princes fighting and they basically just say the king's dead and then you simultaneously you get revealed as just like a peasant on the streets. The king is dead. The high towers are planning to like overthrow Rhaenyra and commit treason, and then the person that is going to be king literally doesn't even want to be king, doesn't give a fuck about any of you, and wants to run away.
That's when you pack up your shit and move.
Yeah, that's when you take off.
I wonder if Eamon is gonna let him go. He just said he doesn't want to be king. Damn.
Well played. We've relied on one another these many years, and now it is the good of the family that we both desire. Whatever our differences, our hearts remain as one.
Our hearts were never one. I see that now. Rather, I've been at peace that you moved about the board.
If that is true, then I made you Queen of the Seven Kingdoms.
And look at all the problems that's...
How could I know? I wanted whatever you impressed upon me to want. And now the debt comes due. The debt you are happy enough to pay.
A sacrifice. A sacrifice made for the stability of the realm. No king has ever lived that hasn't had to forfeit the lives of a few to protect the many, though I understand your squeamishness.
Reluctance to murder is not a weakness.
He said.
I have Aegon. We'll proceed now as I see fit.
Is he gonna kill his daughter right now?
No, he's not.
We will send terms to Rhaenyra on Dragonstone. True terms, such that she may accept without shame.
If she lives behind her banners, looking for her return.
Then she must not return. My husband would have desired this mercy be shown to his daughter.
Your husband, or you, his daughter's childhood companion.
Kristen Cole will be named Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. My son will take the crown of his namesake, the Conqueror, and carry Blackfire, his sword. Let the people remember the ancient strength of House Targaryen.
This is not the smartest
move.
move.
So much like your mother in Silent Lights.
Why would he say that?
As you wish.
Why would he say that?
I don't know.
Your Grace.
It's just like...
I have found out something.
I hate his face.
There is a web of spies at work in the Red Keep. Along its threads travels news of all our doings. Your father knows this. More than once it has proved advantageous to those willing to feed the weaver.
And this weaver watches me.
Larys has a foot fetish for the queen. That's what we're dealing with right now?
He only has one foot, so he likes to see two of them together.
Makes him jealous.
Little spiders, it's your lady in waiting.
Talia.
No, I'm more like her, even I do not know their number. There is one way to destroy his advantage. It must be taken out at the head. When the queen dies, the bees fly without purpose. Begging your pardon for the turn of phrase, Your Grace.
This year's task falls within your
Beesbury.
expertise.
If you wish it, it will be done.
Hello?
Fucking horrible for Alicent. This guy, like, that's what I was saying. Like, I just, like, when I imagine every time she just, like, sees this guy, her day is immediately ruined. Because he, like, originally she, like, thought that he was trying to, like, help her. And then he killed the Strongs, which she didn't really approve. But then he's kind of like, oh, well, you know, I'll do whatever you want. And now he's kind of, like, just playing his own little thing and, like, getting his own information and, like, you know.
Is this the height of his ambition, though? Like, he just wants to jerk off to her feet? Is that why he killed his family and why he is doing all this? And sometimes I get confused. You usually know better than me. He was insinuating that they kill her dad, correct?
I couldn't tell if he was saying that or if he was saying to kill, like...
Massaria?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell either. Hang on, let's I just want to rewatch that.
I think he was probably talking about Massaria.
Oh yeah, Massaria, not her dad.
Because then all the spies, like, if the spies aren't spying for anyone, they're not
I wonder if this
anything.
is when because right now I think the Master of Whispers is not a thing. I wonder if this is like the like on the small council there's Varys' position, and he was the Master of Whispers. There's like Master of Ships, etc., etc. But there is not currently a Master of Whispers as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I wonder if he is wanting to, like, after she's gone, to, like, pick up all these spies to spy for him.
Yeah.
If they're just wandering around.
What are we waiting for right now?
Morning, so he can be crowned king.
Right.
And stuff can get underway.
With me, princess. I cannot let this treachery stand.
This is fake, right? Is this legit?
I don't trust this.
Is that Caswell? Yeah, fuck's sake. This is sketchy as fuck.
It's sketchy, but I kind of hope that...
I mean, obviously I hope. What is this?
Someone's got a murder cloak on. Oh.
Is that Massaria's place?
Yeah.
I won't leave Melis. If I could get to the dragon pit, then...
No, don't expect you there, princess. No, come. You must make for the riverfront and find a ship before they know you've gone.
Not that way.
There's a gathering. It's the crowning.
Yeah.
Is she just gonna get trampled to death trying to leave the city? Just hug the wall.
Yeah.
It's the ceremony time. Ooh, that's Aegon's crown. That looks so sick. They took away the ruby things. That's sick. It looks like it must be, because there's depictions in the World of Ice and Fire, but there's like ruby kind of segments in it. It's cool. He's even wearing the Hightower like clasp chain.
And my father never wanted this. He had 20 years to name the heir. Steadfastly, he upheld Rhaenyra's claim.
Change his mind.
He could have, but he never did. Because he didn't like me.
And yet, with his final breath, he whispered to me that you should take his place at the throne.
Blackfire? Or no, that's Cat's Paw.
Do not toy with me, mother.
I speak the truth. Listen to me, Aegon. Your grandfather, the Hand, will try to impress on you that Rhaenyra should be put to the sword. You must reject. You must not rule with cruelty and callousness. For all her faults, she is your sister, your father's daughter.
Do you love me?
You're innocent.
This is a side thing, sorry to pause. This is a side thing, but I still really wish if season, I think that they're trying to tie it in with season 8, that's why Cat's Paw is the thing. I really wish that, and because the prophecy is like written on the dagger, I wish that they just had it be that it was on Blackfire and the sword carried that importance, because it would carry more weight going into next stories with the Blackfire rebellions, that like passing on the Aegon sword, that like when you heat it up, it shows like all the scrolling of all the prophecy and shit. It just doesn't make sense that it's cat's paw when Blackfire's like the kingly sword.
I'm terrified if she gets exposed here.
Is she gonna get like clubbed by this guy? You're holding up the line, lady.
Is that
the dragon pit, I think.
Imagine she gets in there and busts out on her dragon.
Well, if we're gonna see a dragon fight, she's trying to escape and then they try to
come after
catch
her.
Viserys the Peaceful is dead.
What does that have to do with me?
The most joyous of days, for as his spirit left us, he whispered his final wish that his firstborn son, Aegon, should succeed him.
And I'll just like, what?
No fire lane here.
Imagine if you're just a little bit too nervous.
Bring it down just a bit too early.
Yeah.
This is
You'd
a
be
sad
in the
day.
perfect place if you really wanted to, commit
Sacrifice
treason
yourself.
and sacrifice yourself
for the greater good. Yeah, this guy's a fucking clown. What if he gets up there and he's like, I don't want it, give it to my brother.
May the warrior give him courage. May the smith lend strength to his sword and shield. May the father defend him in his need.
This is scary as fuck.
May the crone lift her shining lamp and light his way to wisdom.
Oh, there's a little ruby on the front.
The crown of the conqueror, passed down through generations.
This is some bullshit.
Let the seven bear witness.
He could take care of it at any point if he wanted to kill him.
To the Iron Throne.
Well, he has kids.
All hail his grace, Aegon, king of the Andals and the Rhoynar and the First Men, lord of the Seven Kingdoms, and protector of the realm.
Yay.
Aegon the king.
This is what you wanted, Otto. Congratulations, I guess. That's a fucking cool looking sword.
I don't really like that he's kind of getting into it.
I think of all the choices, I don't think there was a worse one.
I feel bad for all those people. I hope she like.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Rhaenys doesn't give a fuck.
Can she like burn all of them maybe if she was like gonna actually try to do something?
She could if she wanted. We can't even see her. She's in the smoke. The queen who never was.
Whew! Trying to close the doors.
She's so fucking cool, man. But that was really fucked up how she just killed all those people.
That's fucked up. Open the doors. I mean, she's not gonna do it because if she did, then it would be over.
God damn.
Whew.
That was cool. She could have roasted them all there.
I kind of wish she did.
Were the kids there?
No. I don't think so. No. Damn, I wish she just roasted that. Like, she killed all these, like, civilians, and then she just left them all alive, and then now they're just gonna come for them and kill way more people.
I'm glad she got her dragon. I'm glad
she got her dragon, but I'm like, you should have just finished the job. If you were already gonna go against them, you had this is like in a horror movie or something where you like kind of like take down the bad guy a little bit, but you don't finish it, and then they come back to get you later.
Should have killed me when you had the chance.
It's
well, Aegon II. Aegon II of his name, King of the Andals and the Rhoynar and the First Men. Raper of handmaidens and protector of the realm. I don't know how to feel about that ending.
I feel like it's hard because I'm like, yeah, cool, get your dragon, but at the same time I'm like,
what happens when they get their dragons?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You picked your side, but you didn't fully commit to it because, like, I feel like it's this thing with Alicent where she knows that Alicent doesn't want to, kill all of the rest of them, but at the same time, when you bust out of there with your dragon, it's like been taken to the next level. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I think this is the time where you kind of have to take a side.
I know
what
that.
I mean?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying she picked her side.
I mean, us, like as a viewer, this is the time where like you kind of have to pick a side. I don't know if there's any way around it. If I had to pick a side at this point, I think I definitely wouldn't pick the side with Aegon as king for sure. I wouldn't trust that guy.
I also feel like it's interesting because just as the show's going on, the two main characters are Alicent and Rhaenyra. Like Alicent, as we saw this episode, we get like a lot of her, and we've got a lot of her the whole time. So it's interesting because I'm very sympathetic towards her character, but Aegon is the head of that side versus Rhaenyra. Like, you know what I mean? Like Alicent is not in charge of this side because it's Aegon and whatever he wants because he's the king. He could be influenced either way by Otto.
That's the point. Is like, was Joffrey in charge?
Yeah.
Was Joffrey in charge? No. Cersei and Tywin were in charge. So that's kind of the situation we have here. I don't like this. This isn't looking good. It feels like I don't know where they think this is going to go at this point, like when they're doing this, and that's the thing is Alicent is unwilling to go as far as she needs to go if she's going to go down this road, because I don't want there to be a civil war, but she's committing, like, she doesn't think she's committing treason, but there, all the lords swore to Rhaenyra, and I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong or whatever, but the point is, she is supplanting the recognized heir of everyone that everyone recognizes based on her own word. And she still is trying to live in a world where there isn't going to be a civil war from this. You know what I'm saying? Like she's like, no, Rhaenyra won't be killed. And it's like, okay, you think that she's just gonna let this slide? Like she's like, oh well, she will not come. She will not come here, because if she comes here, that's where I'm drawing a line in the sand, and the line in the sand is on the beach of King's Landing. And if you cross that fucking line, now it's your fault that there's a war now. Yeah. I just well, actually, one thing I want to say about Aegon. That scene in the wheelhouse was sort of like, I guess it's not a wheelhouse, the carriage was like, Mom, do you love me? Oh, you idiot. And it's like, maybe in a Christmas movie this might be a cool thing. This kid is a rapist. This kid is this guy, this is the worst kind of person. Like she like, say whatever you want of Alicent. I think there's a lot of good in her. I think that she, of all the people, in this area right now, other than Helena, Helena's kind of doing her own thing, but like of all the people who are players and taking action in this, I think that Alicent has her heart in the right place on a lot of issues. So like I think that at the core of it, she genuinely is trying to do good, but this weird like reconciliation of like, you really mean it, don't toy with me, mother, oh now everything will be good, right, because now our family's made. It's like, this is fucked up. He's not a good person. Like,
I think it's the messed up thing of Alicent. I think it is that she does love her children, and she does love him.
She's allowed to love her children, no matter what they do.
But it directly conflicts with all of her morals. But she's simultaneously disgusted by him, and he's also still her child at the same time. So,
I'm more talking about like the presentation. I guess what I'm trying to say is like the presentation of that interaction was really interesting. This is what I was trying to say. Presentation of that interaction was really interesting because like there is this vibe of like, you have this responsibility. All right, mother, I'll take it. Yeah, everything's going to be wholesome and nice and good, and I'm going to live up to my name. But meanwhile, it's like, it's the juxtaposition between who he is and like the emotions that are kind of going through that scene are very, it's just a very good presentation of that like showing the bias, you know? I don't know how to put it. I'm not wording this right, but I liked that. I liked this like interplay that like, you know, it's supposed to be this wholesome moment, but this is not a wholesome situation.
I think it's and I think the presentation is no. Yeah. I don't think we're really supposed to forgive him. I think we are getting insight into his like decrepit mental state. Like he you know, it's horrible in so many ways, but then it's what you were talking about earlier, and I think that this was an example of it. It's that by nature, like, he is capable of evils, but also by nurture, he was maybe more inclined to lean towards that side of himself because of all the pressure that was put upon him by his mother. True. So I think that this scene is getting into that, in case like people weren't thinking of it that way before, that like she raised him for this. He is horrible besides the point, but you know, maybe in a different situation he would have still been bad, but not as bad or something. You know, and it's clearly taking a toll on him. Like, he is clearly seeking out it doesn't make it okay, but he's seeking out these like deplorable things to deal with his own not wanting to have his responsibilities and trying to get as far away from possible from his role in life, you know? Yeah. So I don't think it's necessarily to make us sympathize with him, but just to like understand that he is like severely
unwell.
Mentally unwell.
Yeah, true.
And even more like, yeah, you don't want someone this unstable ruling you, regardless of whether they're evil or not. And I think that's the interesting thing with having Aemond being like the other option of the two brothers. Like, you don't like Aegon. You know exactly what he's capable of, and there's a lot of bad stuff there. But Aemond, we don't know. Like, you can't tell what he's thinking. He's completely unreadable. You know what I mean?
I guess so. I would prefer to have Aemond as the king to
Aegon. Because he's more controlled, but you know, he would
because he's more present of mind, like because he's more he's not more controlled, he's more in control of himself. He's more studious, he cares about the history, and what he really cares about is being king and being a badass and whatever. Like he really takes his reputation and his heritage seriously as like the blood of the conqueror, etc., or at least it seems to me. But I think that him taking that seriously is more attractive to me, as it like say I'm like a person in this kingdom and I'm choosing the person that I want to like govern the people and defend. We don't know, he could be a complete fucking tyrant. We have no idea, because you know, Aegon's king. But if I was there, I would rather Aemond be king than Aegon. Aegon is just going to be a pawn, is going to be, you know...
But he's perfect for someone like Otto, who wants to rule by proxy, because Otto wouldn't want Aemon to be the king because he couldn't
control
boss him around
Yeah.
or make him do literally anything because he has a mind of his own and he wants it and he would use the power for what he wanted. So it's kind of interesting because it's almost like a more extreme version of like Viserys, like someone who is like
unfit,
ruling and like kind of subject to what other people are telling him to do and like kind of not like making any bold moves for himself. And that was good because he kept the peace, but obviously we're already heading into a war at the very, very start of this reign. So it's there's not that option for a peaceful reign by someone who is kind of foolish and has no interest. Well, I mean, yeah, Viserys definitely had an
just
interest,
by the nature of them
yeah.
taking the throne is inciting some kind of war, whether or not because again we keep going back to it. Alicent obviously believes that what she's doing is right because she genuinely believes it. Yeah, I just wish she'd fucking talk to Rhaenyra. I wish that they could have had a conversation, been like, hey, it's unrealistic to expect that they would, obviously, but it's like, what if Alicent was like, I was gonna say your dad. My husband was on his deathbed, was talking about Prince Aegon being the prince he said the prince that was promised in like a Song of Ice and Fire, or like something about the North. I don't know what the hell he was talking about, but I think he wants Aegon to be king. And then it's just like, clean communication could solve some problems like this. And then she's like, wait, okay, you're not supposed to know this, but here's the thing. Can I have that dagger? Why, are you going to stab me with it? No. Give it here. Throws it in the fire. See, read that. I don't know. Oh, you can't read High Valyrian? Well, basically what this says is, I'm queen, not your son.
just Aegon should be king. Well, there's two Aegons in play right now. One of them is a crazy rapist. The other is a child. Either option.
Yeah, this episode was a ride. It felt very different.
It was definitely a different vibe.
Episode.
It felt like very slow, but like so tense the
very
entire
intense.
time.
Yeah, it was just over the course of one night.
Yeah, I can't.
And morning.
Yeah, it's with the twins. Yes, of course, they are twins. Though we didn't know that when it was brought up the first time, and there's no indication that he did have a twin brother.
Yeah, it's great writing, when you introduce the idea that there are twins, only show one of them. They have the same name, which, isn't the showrunner's fault. But, it's our fault if we don't understand that these identical sounding names of these identical twins, only one of which we see. It's our fault that we don't get that there's twins. There's no other interpretation that can happen. I don't understand it. It's our fault for not reading the books and then watching the show and giving a reaction about things that we have no idea about. So we're just stupid because we didn't turn on subtitles because we just listened to what they were saying. It's not like, definitely on us, not on the writers of the TV show for maybe not presenting things the best way, in a way that's digestible and understandable to a viewer who hasn't read the books, or et cetera, et cetera. Totally on us. Anyway, yeah, you guys are right. We're complete fucking idiots for not understanding that there were identical twins with identical names, one of which is on screen. Completely our fault. Larys' foot fetish
that came out of nowhere.
Is again like my thing with that is that what I said? Is that the height of his ambition? Is that what he wants? That's all. Like, what is there another ladder he thinks he can climb?
I think he wants to eventually be like Varys. I think he wants to take over the spy role. I think he wants to have all these spies answering to him. I think that could be what he's getting out of it.
I guess this when you ask questions like that, it's like it makes me feel like I don't understand the characters on some level, because I'm sitting here like, what do they get out of this? When I look at Larys, for example, I'm just like, what does he want? Does he want to establish a dynasty? Does he want to give his children opportunities? He just wants to jerk off to the queen's feet alone in a room while giving her information. That's what he wants. That's why he killed his parents, his family, his brother and his dad. That's why he is doing God knows what. That's why he made those men mute to go Is that why he climbed the ladder in this way and lied and cheated and stole and murdered and all this shit? You did all of this just for at the height of your power to get a fucking rush from like forcing the queen to take her socks off? That's why you did all of this? And you can extend that out to all the characters. It's like, maybe that's why I identify with Rhaenys, because she's like, I don't really give a shit as much about the throne as long as my children are safe and my grandchildren are safe. Mm-hmm. That's what I really care about. Now her actions speak otherwise because she's ending up choosing side, but she is kind of forced into it. But when you start asking like, what is the point of all this? It kind of ruins the whole thing. When you ask like, is this really worth all the death? It's like, no, it's fucking not. It's not at all. I don't know. Anyway, I've been going over that point every episode, so I won't go on too long.
Isn't it crazy that we didn't see like Rhaenyra or anyone this entire time? This whole episode?
Yeah.
I wonder if next episode will be like Rhaenys showing up and then like majorly focused on them, maybe cutting back to King's Landing a little bit at the end, and then like that's it, you know?
I was half expecting them. I guess they wouldn't be back yet. They'd probably still be on the ship. Maybe. Or maybe not. Dragonstone's really close. I was half expecting when they were all in the throne room for them to, for Rhaenyra to show up on Dragonback, like in the middle of the procession. That would have been crazy. And for the first dragon fight to just be like right there above the dragon pit while they're crowning a new king.
I can't believe that one like lord dude who got hung that guy was just actually stupid. Like it couldn't have even just like held tight for like slightly longer to like not die, you know?
I mean, it's, you know, yeah, it is kind of dumb. But it's the world that they live in. It's all about oaths, and, you know, people take their honor very seriously. Their word means something because there's no, like, you know, there's nothing keeping anybody from doing anything, you know? Like, I don't know. Like, there's no internet. There's no, like, you know, there's no record of all of your activities that is, like, kind of following you around for the rest of your life. There's just, like, what you swear to in a room full of 10 other people who will repeat what you said. That's kind of it. So I get it, but yeah, it is kind of dumb. If you wanted to help Rhaenyra out or just live, like if those were your goals, that definitely wasn't the thing to do there. But on some level, you have to respect it. Yeah, one of the
twins trying to get Rhaenys out of there. I guess that was legit.
I guess it was.
Yeah. It was framed in a way that made me really suspicious, but I think it was because they, I'm not sure which one, but like one of them more than the other one clearly was like really done with this shit and didn't support Aegon as king at all. So I do like that, but and then she just like got swept away straight to where she wanted anyway, because she didn't want to leave without her dragon. Because if she just leaves and they still have her dragon, like that's so bad, you know?
Yeah, they could just kill it, or they would have to kill it. I don't think, or kill her before claiming it to somebody else. But
yeah,
I don't know if there's anything else to say.
No,
this is a crazy episode. Not as crazy as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Not as crazy as I thought it would be for episode 9. Maybe they're trying to throw us off with that.
Well, I mean, last episode was really crazy.
So, but there wasn't like Ned Stark being beheaded, or the Battle of the Blackwater, or the Red Wedding, or
this is
the Mountain versus the Red Viper. There was Rhaenys coming out with her dragon. There wasn't the Great Sept exploding with wildfire. Yeah. It's a different show, obviously.
It's a different show, and like
the expectation was there, and it didn't feel, if it was trying to deliver on that with Rhaenys busting out with her dragon, it didn't quite hit the same note for me. Maybe it's because I was really expecting something big, but I had been expecting something big every episode 9 for the previous 8 seasons or 7 seasons. Or 6 seasons, because season 8 had less episodes. Do you think there's another big drop coming, like a giant dragon fight next episode or some shit?
I can't tell if it's going to be another one like this, just like very, very, very intense, and then saving up, and then like next season is just going to be, you know, a whole other deal because they'll actually be engaging with each other. Like so say they went the first 8 episodes of, you know, kind of all this like teetering around it, then episode 8 the king dies. Okay, then the sides split off conveniently like after that, and then it's okay, we get one episode with one side and we see all of their inner workings and like spend a really long time like getting to know their plans and what they're gonna do. And then last episode we go to the other side, see all of their plans. At the end, there's a cliffhanger or like, you know, something that like just starts the ball, and then we end, and then the next season can come on and just get right into it. Because this season went through like 20 years of time, you know, and
I don't know how long this conflict lasts, but it could be that next episode is just a huge battle. Like, what if they make a 2-hour final episode?
Could you imagine? And then like,
and then it's just the done? Whole and then we go and tune in next year or 2 years from now for Blackfire Rebellion season 1.
I feel like it would just be so rushed.
It might be, but with a 2-hour thing, like that's a full feature length movie. You know, we had all this build up and they built everything. Like the thing is, a 2-hour thing would feel rushed for a movie if you fit that whole story. But like we have 9+ hours of build up or 9 hours of build up previously, and then the climax for 2 hours or an hour or whatever. It could still feel rushed. I honestly wonder if that's kind of where this is going. Maybe. But there's only one way to find out, and that's to stay tuned for one more week of HOTD. Leave a like and subscribe, and shush you next time. Bye-bye.